Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do is remove this cradle, I guess we'll call it, 12 millimeters, and everything's going to come off. The rockers, everything comes off as a one piece. So you can just put that to the side real nice and neat. So there we go. Took it off, put it right there to the side all nice and neat. Basically what I'll be doing is I have a magnet inside here. This is going to be the socket for the spark plug. You just want to put it right over the valve spring, give it some taps with the hammer, and it's just enough to pop off these little locks. Just make sure you put these guys where they're not going to get lost. And since they'll be going back in, I'm going to sit them on this table so they can go back in the order that they were pulled out. Give them a clean, real nice and neat. Here we have the valve seal. You just get some needle nose or some pliers, wiggle it, it'll come out. And I'm also going to take the valves out and clean them really good, because I don't know, let's see if I can flip this bad boy over. You can see I just got the head shaved, but those valves are super grimy. So let's get them some cleaning, clean this whole head up in general. Alright, so we're on our way. We're on our way. This is basically what a grimy one looks like. This right here is the most important right there, because that's what beds into the seat of the head. And this is what a clean one looks like. Nice and shiny. Still got a little bit of stuff, but that's okay. I was using some 1000 grit sandpaper, and I started noticing that I could see like these little tiny little grooves in there where I want to make sure that I don't take off any. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Just nice and smooth. Look at the difference. You don't really need to do this part so much, as important as it is to get that little ring right there. So alright, I actually found a much better way to clean these valves, and I already did the exhaust. Now time to do the intakes. I have them numbered here so I don't lose the order. But with this bad boy, the only thing you got to take into account is just remember, you're not going to use a lot of strength at all. It's simply just like a buff. Alright, so this is where we are. Pretty much degreased the whole can onto the head. Pulled everything off it. Cleaned as much as I could. Took off all the valve seals. Went ham on the head with this little brush. And it was new when I first started. Came out relatively good if you can remember what it looked like. It's just hard to get up in there. Probably do one more pressure wash. Valves, clean them up real nice and good. And time to dry it all up. I'm gonna go get the assembly for the head so I can lube up all the valves, all the valve seals before I press them on. Got all the components over there, everything nice and clean, just drying it up real quick. Let me go get the engine lube so I can show you what I'm gonna do next. The whole little kit and caboodle. Got to get the valve seals out, get them pushed in. So all you do is put a little goober on there, rub it around with the finger, just slide it on in. So you get the 12, put it right on top, hammer it down. There you go. Got one side, now the other. Just when you think shit's going smoothly, come take a look at what we just found out. They think the idiot torqued the nut on and didn't want to mess it up, so he welded it. Now we got to get the welder, heat up those welds. Hopefully we don't heat up the damn seals in the background. Get the breaker with the right size bolt and break that thing loose.
We'll put another crank seal.
Just a waste of time, man.
Ready?
But we got a new water pump and a new oil pump, so we gotta get through that.
Open that one and open that one.
So my brother's about to get some flame on that shit and heat that up so we can break it loose. So back to the D16. Here we are on the oil pump, water pump. Water pump, relatively easy, but you got to take these off, so it's a 10, 14. Oil pump, a little bit more of a pain in the butt. As you can see here from the new one that's going to go on, see these bolts down there? It means that you have to remove the oil pan in order to pluck it out. But as a bonus, it actually comes already with the seal. As you can see here, we got a little bit of leaky seal action. So we're going to put that on there. We're just going to use some, what was it called, Mark? RTV, what?
Yeah.
Some RTV sealer.
Gasket. Water gasket.
Oil water gasket sealer. And we got a new water pump, which is there. Timing kit, chain, or belt. And pressure wash this down. Make it look real nice and good. There's the water pump.
There's the water pump gasket.
We took off the mount, which was here, 2 14s also, just to make it easy. It's pretty cool with these Honda motors, man. It's pretty much all 10, 14s, and 17s. So let's start by taking these 4 bolts off. Also got to take off the alternator's bracket. This one right here is a 14, so probably got to take that one off too. And we'll worry about this one later once we have it up in the air so we can pull the oil pan off. So we'll be back. Let's take it off. Alright, so water pump's coming out. One thing we're going to need to do. Yummy, you can see that we put some Hershey's Kisses water in this shit at one point. Whoever the hell owned it. Gasket sealer, that's even worse. Anyhow, definitely gonna have to clean this crud out, stick a brush in there as good as we can. Also, the new water pump, it did come with a small little excuse for a gasket, but we're still gonna put some of that seal because it just doesn't look like that's gonna seal Papa. And a little seal goes a long way. So man, look at how disgusting this is. Let's clean it all up and yeah, get her done. So that's what a propeller looks like. Luckily this has the guides on there, top and bottom, so you don't even need the bolts. It'll just guide it right in there. Oh, who's your father?
Get it in right.
Alright, I'm gonna put the camera down so I can get the bolts in there. Alright, that's what something new looks like compared to something old. This is terrible. Holy shit. I'm gonna shoot that with my pistol later. Alright, let's tidy this up. Water pump is done.
Hey, princess.
Give it a light film of this. Gotta remove this oil drain, return, suction, whatever. Put it on there. Gotta remove the oil pan. Get that bad boy off. So let's get it all put back now. Cause see, look. See, it's got this edge right there and then that little shape there.
Yeah, go around.
It won't go on there. You have to make sure that this is perfect sideways. So we got to put the bolt on to turn the crank. And this is what was left of the bolt after we heated it off. All right, let's get going.